Hello, my beauties. Hello, goddesses. Hello, divine masculine that might be lurking. I saw that folks were waiting. I was so excited. And then just getting ready, I was late. Just by about 4 or 5 minutes. Forgive me. How are you all doing? I'm going through StreamYard. So even if it's my laptop camera, even if I'm a little fuzzy, there's great things about StreamYard. You don't need to see every pore, but the sound quality hopefully is good. And I can put your comments up on screen. That's what's really nice about StreamYard. Okay, so I really like having it. And if for any reason the stream drops because of a storm, whatever, satellites down, I can get back on. So I would come back to the same stream. Okay, so I'm really glad to be here. How are you all doing? I see more of you coming in. Welcome, welcome. And we're going to get to it. I mean, I want to say hi, but the folks who watch the replay, they feel left out. Who knows the psychological pain of not being here live? But I'd like to spend a few minutes just seeing who's here and greeting. And then I'm going to do that. So if you are an impatient person and you're not live, skip ahead a few minutes. All right. And I'm going to also introduce what we'll be talking about. So let me know that you can hear me and see me. I see that my internet is not super, like I have one little tiny at the bottom of the V. Whoops, it's fluctuating. So let me know that you can see me and hear me okay, especially hear me. All right, let me know. And so I'm filming this on Sunday, May 12th. And oops, a lot of folks just dropped right now. Okay, hold on. Hopefully you will be back. You will be back, hopefully. Hang on, guys. I'm doing one thing, which is, all right. Yes, and I realize my mother has passed. And for me, Mother's Day was always not everyone who's a mother, but my mom. Do you know what I mean? So since she's passed, I don't pay that much attention to the day, but happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers and to all of us who mother others. So let me know you can see me, hear me. And yeah, it does look like my stream might have dropped a little bit, but I'm going to keep going in case it hasn't, in case it has not. So I'm going to be sharing with you today about the divine timing, just talking a little bit about that. And I want to get your feedback on, hey, if you're just coming back in, I think I cut out briefly. I apologize for that because I saw the numbers like go all the way down to 0. Let me get my phone, because what I may want to do is switch my internet over to my phone. Hang on, I don't know. Let me just see. So say hi in the chat and let me know if you can see me and hear me. Okay, and which internet am I using? Okay, I wonder if my phone internet would be, I'm going to switch to my phone, guys. Hang on. My phone is a hotspot. Okay, I am now using my my cell phone. Yeah, which, believe it or not, has stronger power typically than my like home internet. So we're going to talk about divine timing and what to do when your manifestations aren't happening as fast, as quickly as you would like. All right, I want to share some thoughts and really hopefully channel what Spirit would like me to share with you. And I want to know what it is you're wanting to manifest, that if it's been slow, if it feels like it's just not happening as quickly as you would desire. Okay, So I want to make it a learning for all of us. So I want, here, let me put this close by too. I want to keep the phone close to the laptop. You'd think, the US internet would be the best in the world, or among the best in the world, but we'll see. Hey, did I drop out? There's something going on. There's something going on, but I'm gonna keep going because let me just see if I can tune into YouTube. Hopefully, it won't start. Hold on, YouTube is coming in. I just want to see if I'm live on YouTube. Hold on, and I'm gonna mute it. Try to mute that particular. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. And yeah, it looks like, let's see if YouTube has me as live. You want to talk about what to do? Yes. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like I'm dropping. All right, I'm going to keep going because, and I'll just edit this out. Those of you who have patience with me live, I'll just edit it out of the final. So it should be fine. We're going to do that. We're going to keep going. The show must go on. Oh, okay, Vintage. Thank you. Well, there were bigger numbers and then it went to 0. So something happened, some crash. How are you? And also more folks go live now than when I started going live. And I think there's some overlap, but welcome. Is there, in terms of what we're going to talk about, which is divine timing or divine interference. Okay, let's talk about divine interference. Could there be a reason that our particular manifestation isn't happening? What do you think, Vintage? Hey, I see the numbers going back up a little bit. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I pre-scheduled this by like an hour, but I will be going live on Sundays and it will be between 2, typically I would say 2:30, but I ran late and I saw that Rick and Halisi are live right now. They talk about travel and I try not to go live at the same time. So yeah, divine timing. So what to do when things are not moving forward the way we would like. So my first thought, honestly, I'll jump right into it. I have one main tip to share with you as my neighbor's dog starts barking. It's been quiet all day. They have 2 dogs. One's a Chihuahua. Let's just please don't even say the word Chihuahua to me. If you ever meet me, just never say Chihuahua, okay? It will set me off. And then they have another dog, but it's the Chihuahua that is basically evil. I apologize if you own a Chihuahua. And it's problematic that you do own a Chihuahua. Anyway, the main thing why I think things get delayed, and this is not I've manifested amazing things, like really, really amazing things that seem beyond chance. And I'm sure you have too. You have that capacity. But when things are slow and you're doing everything, I'm just going to invite you to think about this one thing, okay? This one thing that I see in my own life and that I've observed in others is, are you really ready for the manifestation? Have you made ready? Have you gotten ready for the manifestation? Okay, that's my first and really the thing that I see that can be holding us back. Okay. Hey, Cara. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to have you here. Welcome, welcome. And Vintage is here as well. Great. Thank you for clearing that up for me. So, are we ready? So, I want to update you guys. Those of you who are regulars, really quick. And then, like I said, I want to know, what are you manifesting? What are you working on, Vintage? What are you working on, Kara? What, like, is there something that you're wanting to bring forth? So those of you know, first COVID came up. Of course, I wasn't the only one with travel delays, and just, it's not necessarily that I'd planned to travel, but COVID, of course, is like that, like a black hole that sucked time in, right? So my plan to spend at least part of the time in Italy got scuttled with a worldwide pandemic. Yes, I know it wasn't just about me. Okay. And the repercussions, and there were repercussions, emotional, financial, and many. And then my friend got sick. So I have done my paperwork, guys. Remember, they returned it, claiming my people, Jamaica, said they'd written me a letter telling me what was missing. I never got that letter. Now, I'm in the US. Letters do not tend to go missing. Of course, some do, but generally, that's uncommon. Okay. Okay. Just let me know. It just doesn't happen that often. And it's just an important letter. They're like, we wrote you and told you. So that was like 2 weeks. And a girlfriend of mine's like, they still haven't gotten back to you. And I was like, something's wrong. And I just didn't want to face it. I'm being honest. I just was like, oh my God, what is it? I did that. And I want to say that was 6 weeks ago. I did 3 things they asked me to redo, including my photo, which was perfect, which was measured perfectly by the post office guy. Everything. They rejected it. 3 things I had to redo. Okay, did that. And that was like 6 weeks ago, maybe more, maybe 8 weeks. So that's why I have this topic in my mind, goddesses. Hello. That's why I have this topic of divine timing. That's why I'm sharing this with you. And I want to know what your frustrations are. Let's talk it out. So I'm waiting on being able to go to Italy. And the reason it's upsetting for me, goddesses, is that I wanted to travel pre-peak. I've been to Italy twice. I didn't want to go. Guys, I went in August. Don't go to Italy in August, okay? It's insufferably hot. I just wanted to use that word. It's really hot. I was in Venice, and I remember feeling like I could just faint. And also the canals at that time had they were starting to be odoriferous. Okay. So this is why I'm upset, because I've done everything, even my own delays in responding, because I was so upset and depressed about it. It's way beyond, right? The guy in the post office, when I went to retake the photo, he remembered me, and he's like, what was wrong with my photo? Like, he didn't have an attitude with me, but he was like, the man took out a measurement and made sure I showed him the requirements. He did everything for me. He goes, what, they rejected that? And I'm like, dude, let's just move forward. Seriously, I'm in the post office calming him because he was irritated. Like, well, why? And I said, they didn't tell me why. They just said you need to redo your photo. Okay, anyway. And these are the guidelines. Like, okay, we thought we followed them. Anyway, so, and then the other thing that's happening, there's another matter with a friend of mine that's like a legal issue. Again, goddesses, I've done everything that I can. There's like a lot of detail, legal stuff. There's like, this takes this long, and we need more from you. We need more information regarding my friend who passed. Okay. So so a friend of mine said, Viv, you have so much going on that's requiring you to wait. And I hadn't put the two together. I hadn't put the legal stuff with the embassy and my travel stuff. And when she said that, I was like, oh gosh, right, it's both. She saw the pattern, and that's why I was really distressed. So that's why I want to share about this. What are you wanting to manifest, and are you having delays or in the past, and how did you deal with them? So I'm going to put up some of your comments, then I'm going to share with you, like I said, what I've realized as a spiritual being is part of it. I think there are 2 things, but the main thing is, I think, being prepared for the manifestation, and especially in my case, the travel. I think that's a part of what the holdup is that and this is my advice to you as well, like, there are definitely preparatory things that I need to do. And I might sit and journal with you, like, get your journal. We might journal, and we're also going to do something really fun. Let me know if you have heard of Reverend Ike. Again, if you're not African American or not in the US, you probably have not heard of him. He was a charismatic preacher, big in the 60s into the 70s, maybe 80s. Okay, Reverend Ike. And he was like prosperity gospel. He was different than a lot of Black ministers. He talked a lot about money. He's like, if you don't have like, he's like equal rights. What about equal money? Kind of. I'm not explaining it well, but his thing was prosperity is what especially African Americans need. And then he started to branch out. I mean, he was very appealing, very charismatic, funny. So one thing he did was he have almost like treatments, like people would repeat stuff together. Basically, he was doing affirmations. And so I want to do that. I want to do some treatments for us. So remind me that I said that, like statements where we repeat them together, if that makes sense. That I want to do. So I think he called it conditioning. Um, or what did he call it? And check out his channel. He, like I said, it's funny, it's dated, but it's the stuff he says is so is right on point. He really is. He was good. He was very good. A lot of more traditional Christian ministers did not approve of him. They did not like him. I mean, but he's a lot like a lot of the folks now who are very, very well known. I mean, he was basically talking about like stuff like The Secret does, like you have to see it, you have to believe it, that type of thing. But a lot of the more traditional Christian ministers did not like him, apparently. So I'm going to stop and look at your comments. Hi, Vivi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sarabi, welcome. And I love putting up your faces and your channel if you have a channel. So let's see. Vintage says, I lost my job and I met up with a friend who brought up me going to college. Yeah, and I'm going to also do cards. We're going to do a lot today. So stick around with me. I definitely thought some of you what I can do, and it's easier to do for others, as you can imagine. I can pull a card for you about what might be holding you back. So I'll definitely do that. So Vintage will come back to that. Okay. And let's see. Sarabi says, I had work from home jobs, and the most recent one I had was perfect, but my wages were being garnished. Even though it's against the law, I personally was tired of working for others, so I pivoted. So Sarabi, what are you doing now? What do you do now? I hope you're able to still work from home if that's what you want. Yeah, you've heard of him. Yeah. Oh, he was famous. He was a multimillionaire. And again, this is a time we're talking, he was coming up during the civil rights movement. So like I said, 60s into 70s. He was just really sharp. He had his hair like bouffant, like he just almost he really wanted to present flamboyantly and like wealth. And he's like, look at a store and be like, that's for me. The things in that store, tell yourself that's for me. If you want that car, like talk to yourself in that way. So I knew him from when I was a kid because the adults were watching him. Yes, him, Neville Goddard, exactly. And everybody on YouTube, many of you don't know, talking a lot about Neville Goddard. So yeah, we'll do some conditioning statements. Stay with me. Let me know you're here. And for Vintage and Sarabi, let me know what you are doing. So are you ready though for the manifestation? So in my case, I'll use myself as an example. I need, for example, to go get my teeth cleaned. Before I travel, I want to travel for 3 weeks, God, Goddess willing. I want to go for 3 weeks. I want to get my teeth cleaned. Yet I have not made that appointment. I have tried to make that appointment. That's another story. And this goes back to the delays again. Call, hang on for like 10 minutes. The girl doesn't pick up. Can't get through. Then when you get through, the woman who manages the office is like, okay, I'm going to put you on hold for Charlene. Charlene never comes on. Okay. Things like this. So I definitely want to get my teeth cleaned before I travel. So there are things that I need to do. I want to make some medical appointments before I travel, right? That makes sense. What are some other steps? So let's think about, I want to really workshop this. Whatever you're trying to manifest, is there a list of things, like say 2 or 3 things that you need to do. Like if your manifestation came through tomorrow, could you act on it? Could you act on it? Does that make sense? Let me know that that makes sense for you. So say you wanted to meet your soulmate. I'm just going to say him. If you met someone tomorrow, would you be ready to begin a relationship? Or would you be like, oh my gosh, well, my house is super messy and disorganized, and I wouldn't want a soulmate to kind of come into that space. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. Does that make sense? So ask yourself, if your desire came through tomorrow, could you take it? And in my case, as I said, I think spirit is giving time because the same way in all spiritual traditions, they use this metaphor. You plant a seed, right? You put it in the ground, there's a time, it's dark, you don't see anything happening. You're watering it, the sun is shining, and you're hoping, and not all the seeds sprout, right? Not all your seeds that you plant sprout. Some just don't. Some, if you have planted, you'll notice some plants come up strong, right? They just the same, you plant at the same time. Some are little and spindly, and some are stronger. So using that metaphor, also, I think that there's a time of the preparation, the time where you've planted the seed of your desire, and it can just lay there for a little bit, and you're unsure, right? And that's what I'm talking about today with the timing. Mhm. Oh, that's wonderful, Sarabi. That's great. I'll put this up on the screen. Yeah, what you're doing, folks can read it. So if your dream came true tomorrow, if it suddenly got accelerated, would you be ready? I want to take a few minutes. I invite you to, in another tab, put on spa music. I love that channel. It's spa music, and it's by Yellow Brick Cinema. Okay, because I don't want to play it, because then my video will be like flagged for using their music. But let's just take a minute and just think about that. And I'm just going to write some stuff down too. Okay, we're going to just do a little bit of journaling. If what you desire came through tomorrow, would you be able to take it, or are there steps missing? Okay, so let's just spend a minute doing that. I know some of you may not have the patience for that, but let's do just quick journaling. I'm coming up with there's a couple things definitely. Write out what you would need to do so that you'd be ready. Okay, so if you're just joining, we're writing out what needs to be done so that what you desire, whether it's a particular partner, a job, a move, some change, some transformation, goddess, if it happened tomorrow, would you be able to accept it, or are there gaps? Are there holes in this map of your manifestation? I think this is really powerful, because from my observation, as I'm in the wise woman stage of life, I think that that's often the case. There's the vision is out there, and we're here, the vision is here, and we say we want this, but we're not really prepared. The steps haven't been laid to get you closer and closer and closer to your manifestation. Okay, so let's keep going here. Yes, Robbie, actually, that's beautifully put. She says, yes, but I understand how we need to be internally aligned. I listened to your extended divine feminine affirmations. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad it's working for you, Robbie. And it sounds like check out, there are many, many videos right now on toxic jobs, and especially Black women, that we need to leave toxic jobs. Now, that's not my exact area, so I don't talk about it a lot, Sarabi, but I feel like I'm adjunct to that. I'm like after you've left. I'm like, to get you to leave or after. But yeah, there's some wonderful channels. Stephanie Perry. Oh gosh, why am I blocking the other woman's name? I was just watching. Blacksit Global has some stuff on toxic jobs and that we need to step out. Everyone, but especially women, we need to leave these jobs. You are more valuable than the money that you're getting from the job. Okay. So anyway, what I came up with, then I want to share what I came up with, and maybe you can share, and we'll do some conditioning statements to get our mind ready. In fact, the first one I want to share with you, goddesses, is I am ready. I'm going to put it in the chat because this, like, literally is like been a mantra that came to me. It seems really basic, but it's like it was in my head, and I'm like, I am ready. I am ready. So the thing that you desire first, make yourself ready. Alignment, exactly. Align. That's a beautiful word. Thank you, Sarabi. It is about alignment because it's energy and it's alignment. And so, in terms of me wanting to go to Italy, I know because I am a really powerful manifester. I have manifested stuff like crazy, like beyond chance. Like that could not be just luck. It's ridiculous. But so many things happened when my best friend, like my family, basically got so ill that my energy is very sensitive to disturbance because I don't have great boundaries as an empath. Okay, let's talk about being an empath. So I'm riffing now. This may be some of you. If you're empathic and others are, you're allowing others to mess with your energy, goddess. Okay, this is what I'm supposed to be talking to you about. Is you need to boundary yourself because I truly believe, certainly as my friend got sick, I wasn't going to go to Europe. I wasn't going to enjoy traveling. He was the one I used to travel with. So that was a whole year of his process of passing on, right? So that was the year. Um, and then, of course, there's the after effects of grief. But what I'm saying to some of you, it may not be as serious as somebody passing, but maybe it's a mother or a father or a toxic family member who is sucking your energy such that you don't have enough power and enough alignment to manifest. Okay. Does that make sense? Share with me what you think about that. I think for some of you, that's what I'm getting is also is problematic. It's not that you're not worthy of getting what you want, or it's all energy. The world is so energetic. It is so energetic. And that's even folks who kind of believe it, it can be hard to really believe. Graphic design and get a degree. Yeah. Vintage, a lot. I am not so gung-ho on going back to college unless it's a short program. A 2-year program for graphic design, my love. To be really honest with you, you guys know, those of you who know me, I will sometimes really just focus on one person. I may lose the rest of my viewers for that, but that's just how I am. I feel like in that moment, they might need my support. My real sense, nothing, not even intuitively, just as I'm a former art professor, I taught fine art, not graphic art, but I know a lot about graphic design. And it's not education, Vintage. It's if you need training, get training. But you don't need 4 years to become a graphic designer, especially if you have some actual skill or aesthetic. You may need 2 years. There are many programs that you can just take that will get you ready for that, Vintage. So let me know what you think about that. Are you thinking 4 years? I would not go for a 4-year degree because that can leave you with a lot of debt. Unless it's a career that you absolutely know coming out of it, you will get a job. Okay, that's my opinion. I want to know what the rest of you goddesses, if you have ideas, do share them. So let's see, from Neville Goddard. And yes, Sarabi is doing her thing as well. And that's not to knock you being a graphic designer. Like I said, what I'm questioning is whether college is needed. Could you do an internship, work under a graphic designer? Because I don't know how much background, Vintage, you have in it. But especially now, oftentimes college is not, college is not necessarily what's needed. Because yeah, you're worried about your health in order enough, and and if you're burnt out, I'm also, I'm sensing into that. If you feel burnt out already, and then you're going to add something on, yeah. Kara says, I often find that sometimes we're in a waiting period and nothing happens for a very long time, despite our efforts, and suddenly multiple things happen at once. Yes. Yes. It would say the floodgates, right? They open and then you're like, it just washes over you, right? That is divine timing. And so my advice also is I would really try to work with trust, building trust. And something I'm just starting to do more is really focus on trust. So let's look at some ways we could focus on trust. If your manifestation is not happening, okay, because if you're just joining, you don't know what I'm talking about. And I hate when I tune into a YouTube live and I'm like, what is she talking about? Wait, where is she? If it's a travel one, where is she? Oh, she's in Barcelona. Oh, she's in Nairobi. Like, I need to know. Okay. So we're going to talk about what we wrote down. If you were able to write down, like, in fact, let's be specific, vintage. If you tomorrow got a graphic design job, would you be ready? I'm curious. Like, I'm curious about that. And Kara is right. Sometimes it really just all happens. Mm-hmm. The gaps within. Okay. Firmly within for things to come to pass and then to work on them. Yeah, to work on them. Oh, this is great. Let's read a comment here. Worried, I'll always have a reason not to start and won't ever feel ready. Okay. But again, my thing, and this is not for me, this is a brilliant book. Something Cher was her name, Sher, How to Get What You Want. It was a hugely popular book, maybe in the 90s. And one of the ways we delay, my love, vintage is that we think, well, I don't have that degree, so I can't do the thing. Say you wanted to be a fashion designer. Well, I don't have, could you start doing a little bit? Could you start maybe sewing things for friends or locally? Like, the point, this person's like, often that chasm we think is there between what we want isn't there, or it's smaller than we think. So that's another level of an issue as well. So Robbie says, my job was okay, great pay, it was in alignment. But it's about her and not me. Okay. Your job was in alignment with your daughter's experience in life. That, I don't understand that. Do you mean it just enabled you to support her well? Because I don't understand how your job would be in alignment with your daughter, unless you were working for your daughter. Like, I don't understand that. But yes, just a 2-year degree. So Vintage says for graphic design, you struggle without structure to get art done. Yeah. Okay. Well, a 2-year degree, right? Definitely don't need a 4-year degree, not for graphic design. You get a 2, because if you're talented, my love, if you have talent for it and you can show work and you go in at a low level, you'll be able to get in. Yeah, with the 2-year degree. But I hear you questioning whether your health is there already. Yeah. Okay. We are our own, so become it within. Yes. So our first conditioning statement is, I am ready. I am ready. Okay, repeat it after me in your house. Let's do this. And thanks, Reverend Ike. I am ready. And that's the thing. You don't have to know what you're ready for, but when I say it, now, if it doesn't work for you, then don't say it. But when I hear I'm ready, I feel like, yeah, like whatever it is. So to say I am ready as your conditioning statement, I don't want you to think you have to know exactly what am I ready for? I don't know. I'm ready for my 120,000 a year job. I'm ready for that audition, for the play. No, just keep it general. I am ready. I am ready. Okay, repeat it a couple times. I am ready. Oh, yeah, you're so welcome, Vintage. Vintage, I'm going to pull a card for you just to keep it going, keep it moving. So when your desire is not manifesting, look at what is missing that you need to do. Like for me, it would be like if I didn't go for my passport, which I have. You guys, I sit at my window. I know that sounds really pathetic, but I sit at my window now because that's where my computer is and I'm working, but I can see the mailman arrive, right? So every day, you guys, I'm like, oh, he's here. And I try to even see sometimes the truck pulls like too far and I can't see if he's carrying like a bigger envelope. I mean, I feel like the dog that waits right for the mailman, like sitting there to like attack his leg or something or bite his ankle. I'm like watching the dude. He's probably like, why is she so obsessed? I think she's obsessed with me. I'm obsessed with the mail. Ah. Oh, wow. Okay. Deaf, deaf and blind. Wow. Okay. So you were in an area that kind of benefited her, I guess gave you more awareness. Well, yeah, I do think, children want when the parents are happier, the children are automatically happier and healthier. So I'm going to pull for you vintage. Let's just see if there's anything in terms of you going to school. Again, never a yes or no, because there's a couple of reasons with that. It's your choice. And the most important thing we need to realize is we have free will and we have agency to act in our lives. But let's see if what's the issue around you getting work. It seems like you want to get work as a graphic designer. You want to get work as a graphic designer. Oops. Freedom. You got the card of freedom, but it was upside down. So for vintage, I'm going to put them back on the screen. You got the angel card of freedom. So the issue of freedom is somehow related to what you're wanting to manifest. It might be that you don't feel you have enough freedom now, which is the sense I have, right? If we're not making enough money, we don't have freedom. We don't have enough freedom, right? Because we can't act. It's hard to act freely in the world if funds are lacking. You mentioned structure, vintage. So how does that resonate for you? There's an issue of freedom related to, I love this little the naked angel, right? There's an issue of freedom for you related to this question. So Robbie, would you like me to pull a card? And anybody else, say hi in the chat. Again, we're talking about divine timing, what to do. And while I wait for more comments, questions, I just want to share what I realized in terms of if all my travel documents came through tomorrow, I wouldn't want to travel because I want to go to Italy with like really nice sparkly teeth. Okay. That might be TMI. I want to, I have to figure out my pet care, right? Obviously, before I travel. Now I have two friends who will take care of my kitty cat, will take care of Percival. God knows where the beast is right now. He's on a chair on a pile of clothing, actually. Okay, so because I'd like to go for 3 weeks, goddesses, I'd like to travel for 3 weeks to explore the country. And so cat care, I have to really kind of nail down, and plant care. Now, I do have that quasi figured out. So for me, looking at my manifestation and the delay, am I totally ready to go? No. And here's the biggest thing. I still don't know exactly where I'm going to go when I go to Italy. There's one part of Italy I know I'm going to visit, but I haven't, because it's such a beautiful country. I haven't nailed down where I'm going to go. And I'm like, Viv, that's kind of important. Now, of course, I can't book it because I don't have the travel document. So I'm not going to book an airplane. I'm just not going to book that, the travel and everything. At this point, I haven't traveled recently, like in a while. So I don't know in terms of refundability. I know I could get flights that are refundable, but even booking where I'm going to stay, it just doesn't, I don't like how that feels. So what I know I need to do to create, to pave that way, co-create with spirit, is I do need to figure out where exactly I want to travel. All right. Like I said, I know one part of Italy that I'm going to go, but even that, there's so many options. Oh, this has a beautiful beach and it's really expensive up here, but it's the best beach. And I'm like, no, I'm feeling like I should be down here more. And I'm going to travel north to go see this. So, 3 weeks is a long time. That is my hope. That is what I desire, is 3 weeks. And so that for me, and I hope you did as well, write down what would you need to do for your manifestation, for you to be ready for the thing you say you desire. Okay? Yeah. Yes, Robbie, let's see. So I pulled freedom for vintage, and she says it resonates in a lot of ways. Been afraid if I start summer quarter, I'll feel like I'm lacking freedom this summer. Also on unemployment and feeling like I'm lacking freedom of choice. I hear you, vintage. Like, I'm laughing because that's why I think I was on unemployment once during COVID. That was it. Because to me, unemployment feels like a kind of a cage or a prison. I don't know. So, and I hear you. You guys see, I nailed that. Okay, this freedom. So those are things holding you back. See, vintage, so you've got to look at that. You've got to look at that. It's holding you back. Maybe you shouldn't. So again, goddess is what I'm getting. And thank you, vintage, for sharing. Hi, Thomasine, welcome. You have to get clear. So vintage, you can see you're conflicted, right? If you start right in the summer, you feel like you'd be lacking freedom. You'd feel like you didn't get to enjoy your summer. I do get that. All right. But so get clear. Do you want to have fun and relax in the summer? You say you're burnt out, my love. My sense is if you're burnt out, then why not enjoy the summer? Why not enjoy the summer, right? And rest. Doesn't mean you have to be going out, get out in nature, because the sun is so healing. It is so healing. But starting school when you say you're burnt out, maybe enjoy the summer, then go in the fall, which also to me is the natural time to start, right? Is the fall, especially if it's a college job. Benefit your side hustles. I got you. Yeah, I understand, vintage. Yes, I do. I'm not disabled. But I have some disabilities, but they're not at the level that would, rise to being able to be called fully disabled. But I hear you. So many of us want to work from home. Vintage, I have an idea for you. Google has these programs. I want to say they're free or very inexpensive. If you're on unemployment, they will often pay for some of these, my love. They're online, but they literally give you a certificate. I know some of this is what I'm going to say isn't what you're thinking of, but they have things like data, not data entry, but like data analyst. There are about 4 or 5 things for all of you watching this. There's somebody who needs to hear this. They're Google diplomas or Google certificates. And one of them is creative. One of them is project management, goddesses. And then I think they even help you get a job, because these jobs are so, especially like the data analyst and some of the AI things, there's so many jobs and people aren't trained. So just Google certificates, vintage. I think there was one, if I remember right, that had an art component to it. I don't think it was exactly graphic design, but it was something related to visual. Might have been marketing. And it's a certificate. Again, you get it online, but once you have it, it seems like there are a lot of jobs available for people who have this. So it does sound, and I would also talk to a good counselor that you'd be qualified to talk to as a disabled person, and see, there's so many programs and grants and things. So good luck with that. But yeah, you got the card of freedom reversed. So yes, I nailed that. Something about not feeling free. And she confirmed that. I'm going to do Sarabi. I have no idea what vintage sim is. Oh, yeah, but the Sims, I have no idea what that is. I'm going to pull for you, Sarabi, right now, in terms of what you need to know and what you're manifesting. So it's going to be an energetic quality, discernment, and you got that up right. So I think that's really good. Have discernment in what you're working on and where you focus, my love. It sounds to me, just from what you've shared, like you do, it sounds like you're very spiritually tuned in. And discernment, for those who may not know, or maybe English is a second language, discernment is almost like higher judgment. By higher, I mean a fine, very refined level of judgment. The metaphor would be if I show you two shades of blue that are close, discernment would be like you're able to distinguish and discern or see the difference. Okay, so Sarabi, you got discernment, upright. So I think that's very positive. It's for me, I'm getting just be very aware. Um, of what you're doing, what your choices are, how people are presenting themselves, opportunities, just clear seeing, discernment. Yes. The definition would be something like clarity of seeing. Yes, good. She says, yes, I've been working on my discernment and becoming more and more clear. Yeah. Yeah. So the opposite of discernment would be just like if somebody's like, yeah, let's go do this. Let's invest some money in this. I heard it's gonna make money. And you're like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. You won't like investigate. Oh, I heard this investment's gonna make like 25%. Oh, great. Okay, let me get $5,000. I'm gonna give it to you. That's like lack of discernment. So yeah, just for those who didn't understand what discernment is, yes. So discernment is key. It is key for all of us to have. And actually, at this point, I do want to share with you my Awaken the Divine Feminine program. I'm going to put it in the chat. It is open for enrollment. And I'm going to share a little bit. It is about the divine feminine. I've been started to say divine femme and intuition, feeling grounded in our bodies, feeling confident. So like vintage, I know that you're disabled. It's a sense of how can you perhaps even with being disabled still feel strong in your body, because I feel like it's affecting your confidence, honestly, and I understand why it would, right? When one is disabled and we live in a culture that glorifies, really, really glorifies, unlike some more traditional cultures, just glorifies youth and fitness to like an extreme level, like at least not that we all are, but it glorifies it. And it glorifies doing things for yourself and being independent and not depending on anybody and all of that lone wolf, which is ridiculous. So vintage, my program would be helpful for you if you are interested, if you're truly interested and need like a partial scholarship or something, reach out to me. And Sarabi as well, especially if you like the affirmations. We'll be doing practices to learn how to commune with spirit, basically. We'll be doing self-care practices that you have never probably done before. You'll learn not just the information, but when to do them, when not to do them. So we'll have some self-care practices and we'll do a lot of specific spiritual practices that you'll walk away with that you can use as like, now I have my spiritual practice. So I'm going to read you what someone who took it the first time wrote. She wrote, I'm just going to read part of it. I feel that this program, it's Awaken the Divine Feminine, has also made me transform what I believe to be, quote, everyday life, and has in a way helped me to give myself permission to make my spirituality much more present in my daily life. Through meditations and reflections on my experience, I feel like I have a more solid foundation for my personal practice. So yeah, I teach you some spiritually based self-care practices. And I don't like to say exactly, because there are folks who not steal, like not, I don't know who's watching who are kind of like not even take your ideas. I mean, because ideas are ideas, but then like, oh, well, I'll just look that up. And you do yourself a disservice. If that's you, you wouldn't be right for the program, because I teach it live. So it's not, this is really important. It's not like a course where you're on your own staring at the computer and you're confused and you're like, oh, I don't know. It's Goddess Coaching. It's taught live. It's 8 sessions. So check it out. The link is right there. Again, it's for you if you want to strengthen your intuition, feel more grounded in your body, feel better in your body, and learn wellness and woo-woo together. Yeah, and it's only $99 now. The full price is $149 because it's 8 sessions. When I first taught it, it was only 5 sessions. And the goddesses were like, yeah, it should be longer. It should be longer for what we're covering. And so I thought so too, at the end, because we were doing some deep, we were doing what's called like shamanistic work where you connect with spirit. And I was training the goddesses on how to do that so that they have a divine feminine archetype that they can work with. Whether it's Isis, whether it's Sekhmet, whether it's Brigid, um, whether it's Oshun, from whatever pantheon. And so we were working with that. And so the goddesses needed even more time. And so they were like, yeah, we could, it could be like 7 or 8 sessions instead of 5. So I ran it as 5 the first time because I didn't know also how who would come into the program, how much background they had. So yeah, it was really, really good. And this is the second time I'm running it. Yes, check out the link, Sarabi. You would be great for it. Mhm. Oh, wow. So vintage, there's a lot going on for you. You struggle with your weight due to your disability, right? I wonder about that, right? So if you're sitting, I don't know, if you're wheelchair bound or you're sitting a lot, yeah, and you have peak COS, I feel like I want to try to get that under control more before I begin on college, so I'm not uncomfortable and in pain. Absolutely. Yeah. You have to look at your readiness. Hey, if you're just joining, we were talking about divine timing and when what we desire is delayed. And so goddesses were sharing what they're wanting to manifest. And if it's delayed, like a particular aspect, if it's delayed. So if you're just joining and you want to share, feel free to. I can pull a card and go back and just watch. I don't want to repeat what I shared is, I think, the main reason that our timing gets delayed. And actually a positive reason, I think, for a delay, divine timing saying not yet. Listen, last summer I wanted to get to Italy. What you guys may not know is that at that point, Europe, especially Spain and Italy, had horrible heat waves. Horrible heat waves. People, they opened up like cooling centers. And I thought, oh God, I would hate, and I remember specifically them showing Rome. And people were just like pouring water on themselves. And it was really a bad summer last summer. And if I had been there, I'd be kind of pissed. I'd be like, oh my God, I came on vacation and, it's so hot. It's so, so hot. They think they called it, they literally said some sort of shield. It was like, and the heat stayed over Spain. It damaged crops, like it damaged olives, I believe, certain crops that obviously everybody buys that we ended up buying, like olive oil prices went higher. So all of that to tell you, sometimes the divine timing, you're not getting what you desire, not just because there are steps that you need to get ready, but that it might either be, it's just bad for you. It will not give you the experience you want. And spirit knows that. The same way, I'll give you an example with Percival. Like, he loves to eat like some of what I'm snacking on, right? He's like, oh, I want to, actually, yeah, I'm eating something, he smells it. If it's protein, he's like, I want it. Or it's fat, if there's any fat, he's a cat. So those are his two things. He'll come over. But I know if I give that to him, right, from my level of awareness, if I give him what he desires, he will get diarrhea and he will get sick. So in the same way, if you truly believe that there is a higher intelligence and it is lovingly supporting us, the thing that you desire may not have manifested yet because truly it will not be good for you at this time, right? At the timing you want, right? So divine timing, we really, really require trust. So say again, I am ready. And let's see, what other statement will help us to kind of feel easeful about what I desire is manifesting and comes to me in perfect divine timing. What I desire arrives for me in perfect divine timing. What I desire arrives in perfect divine timing. Okay, let's say that with me. What I desire arrives for me in perfect divine timing. So it is. It's our second conditioning statement. Good. Good, good, good. Oh, they do have graphic design courses online. Sarabi, exactly. So vintage, another thing. Again, that's what I mean. I just don't. The college for her may, on the social aspect, be very nice. That's what I just got. But if it's to get it done quicker, to get you independence, the online, and again, if you're disabled, there are often programs to get people working that would pay for it. In fact, that's where I think I got that those Google programs are available. They're different online programs that government programs will pay for to get you vintage, to get you reskilled, right? And exactly, and graphic design is exactly something you could learn online. Exactly. Graphic design used to be very much more manual, like old school cut and put things together. It's now so much digital. So vintage, talk to your counselor related to the unemployment or related to disability and see if there's not an online graphic design program that you might be able to take. Mhm. Yes. Sarabi says it is literally the divine intelligence. You think it doesn't know what's best. Exactly. Yeah. And that's that trust. So again, for many of us, this is the issue. Is it, okay, it's divine timing. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. What I'm saying is make ready, get ready. Okay. So don't wait passively. Wait with a sense of trust, goddesses. Wait with a sense of belief, envision. So keep doing your manifestation and also just to keep your joy level up. So if I were counseling myself, what I would say is, and this is so true, I need to do this because I think I've told you guys before, because I'm an artist, my imagination is super, super sharp. I can run a whole movie. I can feel the breeze hitting my face on the boat on Lake Como in Italy. Okay, I can make like a cinematic, high level video in my mind, and that's a big part of manifesting. So for you, keep visioning what you desire, like vintage. Focus. What I would do for you if I were coaching you vintage is I would have you start focusing on the end result, right? To Neville Goddard. But these are the spiritual truths. Um, the end result, what is it you desire? Because that's what you're sending out, like a blueprint to spirit. Like imagine that there's like the energy's all around you, which it is, right? And it's coming together in an image and bringing it to life. So vintage, see yourself doing the graphic design, see yourself whether at home or in a beautiful new home by the beach that's perfect for you with your disability. You can move around the way you want. Envision what you want as clearly as possible, and it should make you feel good. If it doesn't make you feel good, that may be a different video. Something is wrong with it. Something is wrong with the dream if when you envision it, you don't feel amazing. Okay. And so that's how we are in co-creation with spirit. Let me know. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this? Those of you who also just came in. This is how we co-create with spirit. So yes, we're doing our part, but we also have trust. It's like a child who has a loving parent, right? And maybe the parent isn't giving them something, again, that they want, right? We know most kids would just start crying, okay, and throw down a tantrum. I understand that. But let's say it's a mature child, very well bonded with the parent. There's a sense of, the parent like soothes them, like, you have to trust me. Like, this isn't, you can't, that big toy car, you cannot take it on the road, honey. Like, it's a little toy car we bought you, but you can't take it on the real road. I know you want to. You're not ready. Okay. So spirit can be that wise parent. So it's not done out of lack of love, but it can be protective for you. It can be giving you time to prepare, or it also is just simply not right for you. So that's where the trust comes in. Very much. That's where the trust comes in. What I desire. Yep, what I desire arrives in divine order or in divine timing. Yeah, I like divine timing, Thomasine. Do you want me to pull a card for you? Let me know. And tell me what it is you're wanting to manifest. Like, do share in the chat. But yes, I think what I said is what I desire What I desire arrives for me in perfect divine timing. In perfect divine timing, because we want to put in that it is just at the right moment. So, yeah. hmm I'm just thinking of another conditioning statement, something we can affirm together. Like I said, I really love the I am ready. I think for a lot of us, we have fear. So maybe we can make an affirmation that's about fear. Again, you don't want to use the word, and it's true because if I say fear, then you got to think of fear, and we're trying to do the opposite. So I am confident in divine timing. It could just be another one. I am confident in divine timing and grace. I'm confident in divine timing and grace. And you could have your hand, on like the heart area, the heart chakra center. I am confident in divine timing and grace. I am confident in divine grace and divine timing. Okay, repeat that one more time with me. I am confident in divine grace and timing. And then really let it permeate, right? It's like a tea bag. Don't you love these analogies I come up with? You can't just dip it, take it out, right? Because even as I said it to you, I could feel I'd have to repeat it more. And it's like putting a little drop or like putting a drop of ink into water, and it slowly colors the water so that you're ultimately taking that in, that belief, right? That confidence, that faith. Yes. Fear or faith. Yes. Hey, hello. I'm just going to say Kafa. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Sarabi shares, thank you. This one works for me. Any obstacle is but a pebble to my power. All right. Doesn't work as well for me because when I say the word pebble, I really feel like that hard. And I know the word power, it feels stronger, but any obstacle is but a pebble to my power. What I might try with it for someone else, because that works for you. I might say something like, any obstacle is but a pebble on my path to power, or on my powerful path. I gotta play with that. But I would add in path, because then when I think pebble, I think it's small, if that makes sense. It's but a pebble on my path is what I would probably say, on my path. But that's beautiful. Yes. Hey, Kafa, 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 Kafa. I know. I've shortened your name so that I don't like butcher it. So anyone else want to share before I close the live today? What are you? So thank you, Vintage. You shared. Thank you so much for sharing what you're working on. I think it's great, as I'm looking back at what you shared, that you have a friend who is encouraging and positive. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do exactly what they say, but I'm more looking at what they're bringing. They're bringing a sense of love. They're bringing positivity to you. And so that's great. But listen, Vintage, this is why I think this would be good for you, the program. I hear you when you say you feel burnt out and unsure, and then you explain why. More important than what you should do, right? Oh, I should go to college. More important is how you actually feel, not even just a readiness, but is that truly what your body needs, given that your body has very specific needs? In your case, I'm just saying, listen to your body, and maybe as like root chakra stuff, okay, to bring in the chakras, get your body and the physical right first before you then go for the higher level of, I'm going to go back to school, if that makes sense. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I love that. I love the statement, Tamazine. You are ready. You're ready to open up to a relationship with a man who is divinely chosen for you. Okay, but I want to ask you, did you come in at the part where if he appeared tomorrow, would you be ready? If you're in the supermarket and you reach for a papaya. I don't know. I try to buy papaya. I never get them ripe. That's why it's in my head. Papaya. You reach for a pineapple. I can pick a pineapple. And he's reaching for the same pineapple. Yeah, you would, but it happened tomorrow. Thomasine, would you be ready? And remember, this is meant to be helpful. Write down what you need to do to be ready for it to manifest. Because I truly believe spirit doesn't bring it. I've had things come to me when I wasn't ready and the opportunity went by. There's one in particular that I remember where I was invited to be on CNBC years ago, guys, but I was getting a lot of publicity at that point, and someone called me to do a segment on CNBC, like big stuff, and I just got so scared. I was like, "Oh my god," and I figured it'd be like some sort of interview, and I just was, and that was when I owned my yoga studio in New York City, and I never followed up. I never followed up. So what I believe though, if that resonates with you and if you have any sadness, if something like that's happened to you, is I have a friend who believes that spirit gives you an opportunity once and then you don't take it and you've messed up. It's interesting because this particular person suffers from depression. I do not. And I do not feel, I haven't seen that spirit stops. There's no like guilt or shame from spirit, like, well, I brought you this opportunity and you didn't take it. More opportunities come. That's what I've seen. So if you do miss this opportunity, now it might not be the same type, right? Because if you weren't like with me with the CNBC, I wasn't ready. So now maybe another media one doesn't come, right? But maybe a year later or something. So when that happens, again, discernment, analyze, see what you need to do to get ready. So Thomasine, let me see what you wrote. You've been working on fear of rejection. Okay, so you feel like that's what's needed. All right. Well, that's great that you are working on it, because and you're seeing that that's the underlying thing. Exactly. When it's not happening, when I do readings for people, when stuff isn't happening, there is a blockage, but the blockage is often within. So it's beautiful that you're clearing that. You're clearing it out. And your affirmation was fantastic that you had shared before, how you spoke. Thomasine, that was great. I am ready to open up to a relationship with a man who is divinely chosen for me. I would shorten it a little bit, maybe a smidge, or what you could also do, Thomasine, and any of the goddesses still here, I think I have a video on this, is do scripting. If you go to my homepage on YouTube, I don't know if you guys noticed, there's like my mom would say a spyglass, and you can put a search in there on anybody's channel, on her channel. And if you look for scripting, but what I would do, Thomasine, if that's just the affirmation, I would shorten it a little, or conversely, write a whole script about this person. Maybe I should do, let me know in the chat, do you think I should do a video on soulmates? Because what I would do is the scripting where you write out a whole, see, I think I've already done that video. Not that I can't do it again. Slightly different angle. Write out, Thomasine, like your ideal day with him, and then read that every day. Thomasine, let me know if you like that. That should make you feel good, and then it feels, you know what it is. Then the secret is it feels more normal. Thomasine, it feels more normal that this beautiful manifestation of divine masculine is in your life. So what I'm getting for you, write out the script of how you would spend your time with him, and then read that. Does that sound? Yeah, read that, Thomasine. Let me know what you think about that. And I'm going to put up some other comments. I came in late. Yes. We were talking about, I shared a lot. I really shared a lot about when there's a delay in your manifestation, what to do, why that might be, and what to do. And I did mix in the comments from folks. So it wasn't just a linear thing, Ollie BB. So I don't know. I'm hesitant to try and recap everything. But let's see. What did you share? Oh, that's fabulous. You got the better paying role working from home. That's amazing. Great. So you are like on fire. You're like ready. Video. Yes. So Ollie check out my program. It sounds like it would be perfect for you. It sounds like you're very ready. Awaken the Divine Feminine. And it is, again, briefly, for women who want to feel better about their spiritual life. Like I'm always trying to figure out how to encapsulate it. And for Divine Feminine, it's important that we trust our intuition and that we develop our intuition. Okay. That's what I feel as modern women is missing. So that's part of the program is we're working on how to connect with ourselves. That's my first sort of what we want to do, goal, connect with ourselves and deeply nourish ourselves, then connect with the land around us. And I haven't said this before in the video. It's very important, grounding ourselves in our land the way that native cultures, that our traditional cultures did. So we work with connecting you into your land, right, where you live. Then we connect you to a spirit guide. Okay, that's the process I'm teaching. We connect you to a spirit guide, like you're a spirit animal, spirit ally, and then finally, towards the end of the 8 weeks of the program, you connect with a manifestation of the Divine Feminine. So it's for folks who are spiritual but not religious, and who are interested in deepening their spirituality. And as I said, who are drawn to the Divine Feminine, want to manifest it, work with goddesses, work with intuition, work with the spirit world. Okay, so check it out. I put it in the chat, and it's an open in early enrollment, not open. Early is a discount. We're in early registration, and we start early June, like June 2nd. So do register now if you want to get that price. It's $99. Yes, go back to the scripting video, Thomasine. It is really good. In fact, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull up what it's called. Hold on. And hopefully YouTube won't start talking, because that will get me in trouble if it starts talking on the other. Let me look it up. Okay, so I can go to my channel. Hold on. Yeah, hold on here. Let's go to my channel. Okay, so I'm so glad you guys are all here. Okay, let me now go to, I'm going to the, so it's in the top row, home video shorts on my homepage, and I'm going to do scripting and just see here. Yep, scripting manifestation for beginners. It got 1,400 views, and let's talk manifestation. That was a live. Okay. I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you the playlist, Thomasine. Hold on. And I'm going to have to, here, I'm going to try to, it's really long. An error occurred. Okay, YouTube doesn't want me to be open in too many. Here, I'm going to put the link in the chat. It's a playlist. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, Thomasine, sure, I will absolutely pull a card for you. Here we go. So it sounds like in my community, I'm hearing there's a lot of you who are like me. You want to work from home. You want that freedom. That's really interesting. Here we go. These are the angel cards I'm just getting, and I'm starting to lose my light a little bit. So Thomasine, let me pull for you. Absolutely, yeah. And so this is, I'm going to do it, and I am deeply intuitive. In fact, I met someone, I was freaking them out because I was saying things that were like about their life, but I didn't know. Like I was hitting all these points in their life, and I didn't know I was just talking. I was just like with them. So that can be disconcerting. But what I would like is and this is part of my mission with the channel, over the years I've realized I've gotten more honed in, is I think we as women, especially as things shift, and as there's stress and struggles and conflicts, I think we as women, we need our intuition to be very, very on point. Okay, I'm still shuffling for Thomasine. I've got this open and I'm just like shuffling the cards. feminine intuition is part of being the divine feminine. We need to, what is it? I didn't even look at it. Strength. Thomasine, you got, that's a beautiful card. And the angel is in front of this huge tree. And so the arms, like, and the span of the arms, the tree is larger than that. And you got this upright. So there's a need for strength. Yes. And to tap into your own strength, Thomasine, tap into your own strength. Again, in my program, Awaken the Divine Feminine, that's what I'm wanting to do is tap into and connect to our feminine strength, not strength in a masculine way, but our feminine strength. So Thomasine, yes, this is what you got, my love. Hopefully you're here. You didn't run off to the bathroom or anything. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Yes, please do give the video a like. I think that's a great card because, and you got it up right. So it's not that you're lacking strength. It is that strength. My sense is that you're growing stronger. In this process, you're growing stronger. And to know you are strong, to know you're strong, and to feel your strength. So don't feel like, oh, I'm just waiting and I'm helpless. Thomasine, I want you to really feel grounded in your feminine and your ability to attract. To attract. Yes. Okay. She says, I'm here. That was perfect. Especially. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. You're getting stronger. Now, I don't know your beliefs, and I'm always like, how woo-woo can I get? I think we want to really talk more woo-woo. What I would do if I were you, since it shows a tree, and in all cultures, one of the symbols of strength in every culture would be mountains and trees. So if I were you, I would connect in, just go and sit. You could sit with your back, with your spine touching the tree, and just feel that sense. Obviously, I would choose a big tree. Don't just choose a little like sapling, right? Choose a big tree and put your back to it and just sit and meditate and just commune with that energy, that strength, and feel the strength of the tree and feel your strength. That's what I would do with that, because that's an interesting and beautiful card that you got. Yes. Hello, Kafayat. Yes, sure. Now, Kafayat, what is your dream? Tell me. Well, I'm going to pull, but tell me what your dream is, because it seems like you just came in. And so what we were talking about was divine timing when our dream seems delayed, right? When our dream seems delayed. And what to do about it. And my main bit of advice was understand. I'm going to recap here because I'm going to go very soon, but I'm going to pull for you, Kafayat. One, there's a reason Spirit is holding it back. It may be that it is wrong for you. It might even be dangerous, or it is simply really not the good time. I gave the example of me wanting to travel abroad, and I would have ended up in a heat wave, like literally in a heat wave, where I would have been pissed. They're like, I paid all this money and I'm so hot and I'm sitting in a cooling station. I'm not looking at monuments, Yeah. Geeky me, I would have been like, yeah, I'd rather be staring at like a painting than I'm sitting in a cooling station with like ice on my head, right? So it turned out I was not good. There was a heat wave. So Spirit is either protecting you because it's not right for you, it might be dangerous, or simply like it's not going to go well, or it's not the right thing for you. So that's one set of reasons. The other set of reasons is that you yourself are not inner aligned. It could be both. It's probably both, actually. So what we did, Kafa, I'm going to just say Kafa, is we took a moment journaling of, if my desire manifested tomorrow, would I be ready to take it, do it, act on it? And if not, what are those steps you need to do? Okay, so that's what we did. Like for me with my trip, I haven't really planned where exactly in the country I'm going to go, right? So I'm not really ready, right? Okay, Kafayat, you got willingness. Willingness. Interesting. Oh, you have been okay. Yeah, you were just quiet. It's funny because I was going to say that. Were you just hiding? So, kafayat. Let's see. Willingness. So let me go back to what it was you said you were wanting to manifest. Regarding next step, okay, yeah, so a willingness. And this card shows the angel doing dishes. So willingness has a bit of this sense of, are you willing to do the work to get? Oh wow. Okay, I'm going to put up what your comment is. Let's read it, you guys. So I support women and girls who have been victims of abuse. I want to combine that with the arts. Wow. Work freely, travel too, but ultimately community work. Yes, yes. But you want to, is that like a nonprofit? Are you thinking like, what's the structure you would like? Let's speak it out here. Freedom for others, community, self. Freedom for others, community, self. That sounds wonderful. That's beautiful. That's what you do. Are you already doing it? I'm really curious. It sounds, put it out there. Somebody may reach out to you seeing the video. Okay. So yeah, share a little bit more. Have you started? Is it a nonprofit? Do you want to work with like a nonprofit that's already existing? I love the idea of bringing in the arts. I know there are nonprofits that do that. I was watching, it was a while ago, but it was a woman who works with, like bad trauma, like, raped in wartime multiple times. And they were doing art to try to kind of open up to the pain. So it sounds like wonderful work. You have a nonprofit and you've worked in nonprofits. Okay. Wow. 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 Do you want to say the name of your nonprofit? Yeah. Natanya says that's amazing. Yeah. Wow. That is such rich work. So willingness. You did get it up right, I think, when I pulled it. So it seems like it's the willingness is there. Let me pull something else for you because you're doing such amazing stuff. Trying to find ways. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because it's a nonprofit. Are there grants? There's grants. House of Lavender, based in London. Okay, her nonprofit is called House of Lavender, based in London. Now that's an interesting name. I see the name would mislead me a little bit. I would think it like, without seeing an image, I would think it was like a perfumery or a perfumery, cafayat. But I hear you on the steady income. I'm pulling one more card for you. So your first card you got was willingness. And it sounds like you're willing to do the work. This is the card showed the angel working, doing dishes, and there's a pile of the dishes and just going. So just willingness. I'm going to pull from the Traveler's deck. This deck very much uses the journey of life, right? It makes it a journey. And so all metaphors about traveling. So for it. Yes, you're not. This is very interesting. You guys are going to love this. It's a beautiful card. Can you see this? You got this reversed, and this deck, I just feel like it's very accurate when I work with it. Follow your bliss, but you got it reversed, so you're not. And I'm really curious if you're able to see that. The card says you're not quite navigating from your intuition, from your divine feminine. You're not quite doing that, which is interesting, right? So navigating by the stars, follow your bliss. I think this is tricky because I have to ask you, does the work you do make you really happy, or is there something else you would really rather do, my love? Is there something else you'd rather do? Or do you really love the work, Kafayat? Do you love the work that you're doing with the women and children? I'm really curious. Let me know. Now, the follow your bliss. So it implies listening deeply to your inner promptings, navigating by the stars. So it's and your dreams being important, like your nighttime dreams being important to lead you. So yes, let us know, because that's just an interesting card to come up as more advice for you. Does this work make you truly happy, or is there something else that you would rather do? And it may be, you stated you want to bring the arts in, because I was going to say, well, maybe, so it's not quite satisfying yet, but you need to adjust it so it nourishes your soul. Okay. And there is a delay, so I'm just giving a little bit of time. Anybody, when you share in the live chat, I'm on StreamYard. See this guy? See this little duck? Yeah, and it takes like a minute and a half to get over through YouTube systems. Let's see. She says, interesting. I love the work, but looking to pivot. So, my love, be honest with yourself, because this card, you got it reversed, which if I were doing a reading for the person, this means they're not following their dreams. They're sort of misaligned with their dreams. So, okay, so here we get the feedback. I love the work, but I'm looking to pivot, wanting to get into the arts and more creative projects. So it's not feeding your soul. And that's interesting, because then that goes with the willingness card. So yes. Yeah. So Spirit says you would be better off, yes, follow your bliss. And maybe in your happiness, you'll be able to do part-time with the nonprofit, or as you said, you'll bring the arts in, but follow your intuition, your gut, your desires is what is needed to move you forward at this time. Yeah. And again, like I said, pay attention to your dreams. Write your dreams down, because they're going to hold answers for you. Even if, say, you wake up but you don't remember exactly what the dream said, right, which is often the case, it's still, you wake up with an inkling or hint of a clue. My neighbor is going by with did I mention Chihuahuas early on? I did. Anybody who's been here from the beginning, my neighbor goes by with a vicious little Chihuahua and then I step out of my house. He starts acting up. So let's see. Yes. Oh, that lit a fire in me. Oh, that's great. So so maybe, does that need more publicity? Is there something you could do with the book, with the stories? Wow, a fulfillment. Let's see. Yeah, deep sense of fulfillment, joy and fulfillment. Got it. That is wonderful. And fulfillment. Yeah. So you're expressing, yeah. I think what's really sad is the nonprofit world, I feel like it's easy to burn out in it, because you're giving, often underpaid, right? In the nonprofit sector, you're doing great work, but you're not making a lot of money. And then, you kind of use yourself up. Oh, you're welcome. And Cafayat, check out my program as well. If you are in need of, it's $99. If you are in need of a partial scholarship, this is the type of thing that you would learn how to work with, because, for example, we are going to learn how to work with the divine feminine and work with spirit guides. I'm just thinking now of your card. I'm seeing how, she would be good in my program, right? Follow your bliss. We're going to work with a lot of non-linear ways to know what to do, right? To know what's our next step, rather than trying to figure it out. So let me break that down. So the masculine, and again, there's a spectrum. We all have some that masculine, and masculine also has some of the feminine, right? It's a spectrum. But we're trained in Western society, especially, to rationally sit, and even like I did, make a list, figure it out. All spiritual systems say instead, no, you should get quiet and go within, commune with spirit. It's a different part of your brain. And so, yes, that card I pulled for you makes me also think that, I just want to mention it to you, because I think it would be wonderful for you, especially if you're open to trying different things spiritually. Yeah. For me, I'll share one of my main sort of almost like my spirit animal ally is owl. And I've shared this before in other when I first like sort of found in a shamanic journey, which is what I'm going to teach in Awaken the Divine Feminine. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, but owls, they're not as, powerful as like wolves or I don't know. And my teacher said to me, are you kidding? Like they are a lot of native wisdom. I mean, they're up there with like eagle because of and again, when we talk about animals like I'm talking about them, we're talking about almost like their spiritual qualities that are inherent, their wisdoms, their medicine, as like Native American would say. And so for owl, it's that ability to see at night. And so it is often in Native American cultures linked with women and the idea of intuition. So owl sees in the dark, right? It also has super sharp talons. So it's a very efficient hunter. And also, something I didn't know about owl at the time is that when it flies, it's almost silent. So again, that's why many native cultures see owl as just those qualities as like brilliant and amazing, because the idea, the ability to see in the dark, catch its prey and silently, and the talons are extremely powerful apparently. And so it very much, and the whole ability to turn has to do with being able to see, and so it's very much linked with intuition. And that was like my first spirit animal. And spirit animal isn't quite the right word in all cultures, especially African, in South America, in old Europe, in North America. Animals were not seen as inferior. They were seen as manifestations, as like children also created by God, by the divine. And they had their own wisdom, right? Like the way bees, for example, we're literally seeing that if the bees died out, we would probably humanity would end, because their function, even though they're tiny, even though they don't build skyscrapers, right? They do something, their pollination is part of that beautiful web of life. So here I am going into a bit of my kind of the background of how I see and why I made this program, Awaken the Divine Feminine. So every single culture had that like a respect for each creature, because they could see that each creature did something, did a balance, right? Like the way bats, many of us in the West, really quick example, is spider. Yes. And yeah, spider, also a lot of wisdom there. And but bats are seen as evil often in the West. We really demonize them, sort of Western, like just a fear of bats. So when I was having problems with bats in an apartment that was up at the attic of a house, I found out like the thousands of bugs that a bat eats in a night. So that rather than think of it, if you're in an area where the mosquitoes are carrying disease, is the bat evil? No, because it's eating, it's allowing you to be outside without being like devoured by like, so it has a balance within an ecosystem that is beyond human. We didn't create it. There is a balance there. So that is so beautiful. Oh, you're welcome, Cafeat. Yes, and spider. Spider is also often linked with women in many cultures. Specifically, it like has a lot of the feminine energy. Cafeat, if you can, and if you're interested, check out my program. And I'm going to put it up here. My website is In the Flow of Magic. And if you go to the top, you'll see it, but I'll put the link one more time. Again, this is stuff that it's taught live, so it's not just a course. I'm guiding you through 8 sessions of spiritual training. So I would love to see some of you in it. A lot of folks watch after, but I really want to first thank those of you who are live here. And I really like that affirmation. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. So when you feel some fear coming up, say to yourself strongly, condition yourself like Reverend Ike. Well, he would put so much drama into it. I am ready. He had people like shouting it back. Okay, if you want it, let's do it a couple times. I am ready. Right? He would be shouting it. He'd be in the pulpit. 3,000 people would be shouting back at him. Okay, we don't have that here. It's just us in our spaces. But I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. So namaste and ashe. And I'm so grateful and glad you were here with me. Those, especially if you were here the whole stream. And oh, before you leave, do give a thumbs up if you haven't already on your way out, and have a beautiful week. And I will see you next Sunday. Ciao. Bye for now.